In recent months, Joe Biden has been the protagonist of a series of gaffes, slips, falls, forgetfulness, and phrases deemed inappropriate, which have cast doubt on his mental clarity. A behavior that increasingly worries Democrats, so much so that many consider him unsuitable to continue the race for the White House for the elections of the next president of the United States on November 5th. Among the most sensational gaffes we remember when he tripped 3 times while climbing the stairs of Air Force One, when he said that Putin was clearly losing the war in Iraq.
It's hard to tell, but he was clearly losing the war in Iraq.
And when he remained completely frozen during an event at the White House. In recent days, the televised debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump has further highlighted the confusion of the current president of the United States, who has failed to formulate the simplest sentences, continually interrupting himself to the point of confusing data, numbers, and showing difficulty putting his ideas together.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
A debate judged disastrous by the main newspapers, which turned the spotlight on Biden's mental health. According to a poll published by the television broadcaster CBS News, a few days after the first presidential debate, which aired on Thursday, 27 June, 72% of American voters believe that Joe Biden does not have the mental and cognitive health necessary to serve as head of the state. But what is really happening to the current president of the United States? What are his real medical conditions? Let's go see it. According to former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, several prominent Democratic leaders have suggested President Joe Biden has brain damage and might be removed from running for office again. According to Carlson, the mainstream media is aware that Joe Biden suffers from dementia, but continues to hide this information from voters. This certainly wouldn't be anything new. In the past, the United States has had presidents with illnesses kept secret from the public for political reasons, from the paralyzing effects of polio that struck Roosevelt, to the drugs Kennedy took to ward off the symptoms of Addison's disease. Back to the present day for what's happening with Biden's health. Is he really ill? In February 2024, Biden's personal doctor, Kevin O'Connor, presented a health assessment of the president, only 6 pages long, on the occasion of his annual medical examination, where we read that he was subjected to the attention of several specialists, including an orthopedist, a physiotherapist, a cardiologist, a sleep doctor, and a neurologist. After a careful analysis of the president's medical history, the results of the physical examination he underwent, and a review of radiological images, it emerged that the stiffness of Biden's gait is partly due to a degenerative process caused by osteoarthritic changes of the spine, better known as spondylosis. In medicine, it is a slow and progressive degeneration that involves all the bony and ligament structures of the spine. It is very widespread in adulthood, especially from the age of 50 to 60, and affects approximately 5% of the general population. In the medical evaluation we read, the president's arthritic changes remain moderate to severe, but do not yet involve nerve root compression significant enough to warrant any specific treatment. Biden's stiff walk can therefore be attributed to arthritis of the spine, reduced mobility of the left hip, which following an X-ray showed slight arthritic changes, and peripheral neuropathy in both feet. The neurological examination to which Biden was subjected, however, therefore excluded the presence of brain disorders or neurological conditions, such as multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, or stroke. However, in recent days, following Biden's evident difficulties in public appearances, several doubts have been raised about his real medical condition. Some spoke of dementia, some of Alzheimer's, some of cognitive decline, and some of other mental disorders. Although it is important to remember that it is not possible to make remote diagnoses without an accurate examination by President Joe Biden, Rumors about his alleged decline in cognitive functions are increasingly widespread. Memory problems, gaffes, and constant falls fueled suspicions. However, in recent days, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre has denied that Biden has Alzheimer's or any other form of dementia. According to what was reported in the Washington Times by forensic psychiatrist Carole Lieberman, who has worked with dementia patients, President Joe Biden has shown signs of using stimulants to mask cognitive decline. This reportedly occurred during a speech by the president during a joint session of the United States Congress. On March 7, 2024, Biden's unusually energetic performance, different from the slowness and uncertainty we are used to, as well as a series of mannerisms, could indicate a possible use of drugs, for example, Adderall. It is a drug based on amphetamine salts, which is generally prescribed for the treatment of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, but which, according to the results of some studies, could also be used to alleviate some symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Donald Trump helped fuel this theory ahead of the televised debate with his rival Biden, accusing him of showing up under the effects of Adderall. A theory that obviously cannot be proven, except with a drug test before the debate. According to the New York Times, both Biden and Trump were deemed fit to serve as President of the United States by their doctors, but neither agreed to show complete medical records to prove it. Furthermore, neither of them underwent any cognitive test because it was not deemed necessary by the respective medical teams that follow them. As also reported in Forbes, a well-known U.S. magazine, the results of the alleged cognitive test that Trump boasts of having passed with flying colors have never been made public. According to experts, it would still be an easy test with simple questions which does not examine cognitive functions in detail but only indicates the possible presence of important deficits. According to Dr. Rudolph Tanzi, professor of neurology at Harvard Medical School, both candidates should undergo a complete evaluation of their mental health and then a battery of complete neuropsychological tests, of which there are approximately 33, capable of detecting dementia and other brain dysfunctions. You have to take a test to drive, Dr. Tanzi said. It should also be done to enter the White House. Let's remember that the president holds control of some buttons that could end the world, such as those that authorize the launch of nuclear missiles. According to medical experts, the biggest omission from the published clinical assessment of Joe Biden's health is the lack of cognitive testing. Dr. Tanzi said such tests should be administered to any presidential candidate aged 50 or older, and especially by outside and independent doctors who have no political or personal sympathy towards them. The long-standing truth about the American political system is that presidents and presidential candidates choose which medical tests to undergo, how much and what medical information to disclose, and which to keep hidden, thus deciding what to let their voters know about their health, and therefore what image of them transmit to the nation and to the whole world. On November 5, 2024, Americans will be called to vote, indirectly judging the suitability of Trump and Biden to hold such an important office in the worst possible way. From afar, based mainly on snippets of their public appearances, both the positive and the negative ones. And what do you think instead? Do you think Biden is fit to run for President of the United States again, and Trump instead? Let me know below in the comments.